Hi-ho, Drinkerinos. I'm Steve Kuntz, and we are back for another episode of the Idaho Booze Podcast this week. Ooh, baby. We've got one of the owners and operators of Idaho's only organic winery, Holzinski Winery. I talked to Caitlin Holzinski all about her organic vineyard and what her winery is doing to entice younger people to start drinking local wine. It's a tough road to climb. You wouldn't think that'd be tough, but it's tough. We're having trouble with the youngsters. Gen Z not having it. That plus I tell you all about where I was last week, and we have a really nice summer drink for our Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week. All that next on the Idaho Booze Podcast. It's time for the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week, and this week's cocktail, it's one I came up with all on my own. It is Idaho Wine Month, so we are going to be using an Idaho wine in this cocktail, don't you know? But we're going to start off with brandy, specifically cognac, specifically fine cognac. We're going to do about 1.5 ounces of this guy. I know usually I add all the booze last, but this time we're doing it all into a glass filled with ice already. So this is kind of a fun summer drink. There you go, 1.5 ounces, booyah. Then we're going to do our Warren Reserve Huckleberry Sour Mix. The stuff is awesome. You can get it with a promo code right now. I will talk about that in just a little bit. This one, you only can do about 1 ounce. About 1 ounce with it. There we go. Add that in there. Booyah. And then we're going to use Warren Reserve Lavender Bitters. You can also get this with the promo code, and I will tell you about that in just a little bit. We're going to do 2 little shakes. Boop, boop. That's it. That's all it needs. It doesn't need any more than that. You're not going to get a lot of lavender. It's going to just be a little bit of bitter to offset a lot of this sweet. It's a lot of sweet. And then my favorite from Holzinski, Ida Peach. This is their peach brandy, or peach sangria from Holzinski. It's down in Buell. They're making great stuff down there, and this is an awesome product. It is just a white wine that they make with peach flavoring. They use a lot of natural flavor, and we're just going to fill up the rest of this glass with it. And this is, I promise you, is such a good drink. It's just like going to be nice and summery. We're going to mix that up. So this, what am I calling this? I'm going to call this the, let's call it the Plains Sangria. Plains Sangria for Buell, for Caitlin, for our friends down at Holzinski. Let's give it a try. Man, the peach sangria is really nice in there. It's a little sweet, but the bitter, those 2 dashes of bitters really knock down that sweetness, make this a really nice, enjoyable summertime drink. And that huckleberry in there gives it just a little bit of sourness on the back end that you're really going to enjoy. I promise you're going to love it. It's our Idaho Plains Sangria from WarrenReserve.com. Go to WarrenReserve.com, use promo code SUMMER25. You're going to get 3 bottles. Boom, boom, boom of the Huckleberry Sour, plus a free bottle of either lavender or chili lime bitters, all for just $29.95. Summer 25 is your code. WarrenReserve.com. This has been the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week. Spring is here and summer's right around the corner. Time to step up your cocktail game with Warren Reserve. Their huckleberry syrup is made with real lemon, limes, and wild huckleberries, and it's the perfect upgrade for your margarita, mojito, or even a whiskey sour. And right now, when you buy a 3-bottle pack of huckleberry syrup at WarrenReserve.com, you'll get a free bottle of lavender or chili lime bitters. Just use the promo code SUMMER25 at checkout. That's WarrenReserve.com. Promo code SUMMER25. Cheers! Welcome back. Last week I was on assignment in northern Idaho for my next book on Idaho wine. I posted a couple of videos from my adventure on my Journey to Idaho Wine Substack, just $5 a month. You can find that on Substack. The fun started at Ponderay Winery in just about the tippy top of the Panhandle there in Sandpoint, Idaho. There I was met by one of the owners of Ponderay Winery, Kelsey, and she was so nice. I got some wines, I got some pizza. It was a long drive up there, but but you know what? It was totally worth it. I always miss going to northern Idaho. It's just so pretty up there with all the pine trees and everything else, and the mountains and the streams and the lakes. And it was a gorgeous day in Sandpoint, 90 degrees in Sandpoint. Everyone was at the beach. Downtown was hopping. People were walking all over the place. It was pretty idyllic, almost kind of like McCall, I guess. It got a very McCall vibe, Sandpoint, with the skiing and the water and everything else, the kind of cute downtown. Anyway, tried a few wines there at Ponderay. They were really good. They told me all about how they make them and where they get their grapes from and all this stuff, because you really can't grow too many grapes up there in Sandpoint. So they source a lot of their grapes from like Walla Walla and even some from the Lewis and Clark Trail. So that was really nice meeting them. The pizza was fantastic. It was a weird pizza. It had like caramelized onions and stuff on it, but it was so good. So I really loved it. Loved meeting all the people there at Ponderay. It was so fun. And then I went to Lewiston, where Visit Lewiston and my new best friend Michelle Peters was nice enough to set me up with the wineries of the Lewis and Clark Trail. Shout out to the lovely folks at Hell's Canyon Grand Hotel who hooked your boy up with a cozy suite and some amazing hospitality. I will have a video of that up on both Substacks so you can see where you need to stay next time you're in Lewiston. Give my friends at Hell's Canyon Grand Hotel a ring. Casey will set you up with something nice, I promise. So this was a kind of a big part of the book because I had to go up there and we had to interview some people, and they have about 6 wineries up there in Lewiston and Clarkston. And the first one I went to was Lindsay Creek. Art was at lunch with me, and so he took me out to his winery out kind of on the edge of Lewiston, out in farm country. He has a really nice farm out in the rolling hills of the Palouse. And Lindsay Creek, tons of wines, really good stuff, lots of really fun ones. A Petite Syrah, I believe, there that was really good. And he had some white blends, and I think he had a Viognier that was also pretty tasty. So Art, shout out. Good to see you. Nice to meet you. And I really loved your winery. It was a lot of fun. And it was like a fun winery too. They had a lot going on. They had, I think, bingo that week, and they did music, and they had a big event center. So kind of a fun spot to hang out in. So then we went to Coldwater Canyon, and that's where I met my one of my favorite people I've met so far on this whole journey. She was just awesome. Coco Umaker, the owner and winemaker at Coldwater Canyon, or one of the winemakers, I guess, and her husband, Carl's the other winemaker, also super nice guy. But yeah, that first day I was there with Coco, and we tasted through a bunch of her wines. We had a really nice chat there in the barrel room, and it was just a really lovely evening. It was so nice meeting her and so nice kind of hanging out with her and just kind of getting to know her and her winery and everything. So Coco, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. It was great to meet you. Then the next day, got up, went out to Basalt Winery. This was in Clarkston, and these ladies, Lynn and Leisha, they were so freaking nice and so welcoming and just like a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed meeting with them. We're going to have a cool video from there up very soon, as well as Coldwater Canyon and Lindsay Creek. We have videos for all these places that'll be up on the Journey to Idaho Wine Substack very soon. So Basalt, they had some really nice wines. They had 2 different GSMs. They had a GSM of rosé, or a rosé of GSM, and then they had a regular GSM that was just like a straight up Bordeaux blend that was super tasty and yummy and really awesome wines. I meant to go back and grab a bottle, and I just didn't make it back, but really, really fantastic people. Great wines there at Basalt in Clarkston. And then I checked out Rivara. Rivara is a lot of fun. These guys they had this farm up there in the hills, kind of on the way to Orofino near Julietta, and they wanted to start making wine. So the parents went ahead and started putting in grapes and sent their kid and their nephew off to wine school. So the guy I met with was Lane Hewitt. He's one of the owners and the winemaker, and one of the winemakers there, and also kind of does the marketing and some of the other stuff. I think his cousin does a lot of the winemaking as well. So he got shipped off to wine school and came back ready to go, and they put up a bunch of acres of grapes grapes, and it's just a really cool vineyard actually, and the place is awesome. Rivara, that's up kind of near Julietta on your way out of town, sort of kind of around the corner a little bit on your way to Orofino, kind of in a weird spot, but really gorgeous. The Coldwater River runs right through the middle of the property, so the property is kind of bisected. There's a big vineyard where the tasting room is, and then they have another vineyard across the river that's really cool. You can see it from the winery. So a very cool spot there, Rivara. And thanks to Lane for hooking me up there too. He hooked me up with a bottle of GSM, so I'm super excited about that. And then Jovinia, this was downtown Lewiston. These guys were super nice. This was Lisa and Mike Grigg, and oh my God, they're right in downtown Lewiston, and wouldn't you know it, my friends at Barbarian and everywhere else downtown will totally sympathize. Guess what was going on right outside of their winery? Yep. Construction, tons of construction, but it was really nice meeting them. I tried some of their wines. They were really good. And they're actually building a vineyard out kind of near Rivara. Actually, that's kind of what I thought anyway, out on the kind of edge of town. So yeah, Jovinia, Rivara, Basalt, Lindsay Creek, Coldwater Canyon, all amazing, all right there in town. Really great. Didn't make it out to one. That's all right. I got a good feel for the place. Met a lot of really fun people. It was a fun time out in Lewiston. Then the next day I headed out. I went up to Moscow, got some lunch at Tapped. Obviously, love that place. Shout out. And headed up. This was up into the hills, my friends. Now, when I say into the hills, I mean like other side of Lake Coeur d'Alene. This is really like out there. I'd never been out there before, and I used to live up there, so this was weird. But in the middle of this area where just nothing is, and I needed gas, it was really rough. Shepherd Family Fruit Wines. My God, these guys had some of the best wine I had while I was up there. Jim and Julie Shepherd up there making wines out of fruit. Now, normally you think like the Parks and Recreation thing where his mouth is blue and they get super drunk. But these wines that they're making at Shepherd Family Fruit, they're dry. They're delicious. They taste like fruit. The cranberry wine, I kid you not, people, I kid you not. The cranberry wine tastes just like Ocean Spray. It's amazing. I could not believe it. I was blown away. I was totally and utterly blown away by their wines. I took home the cranberry raspberry, gave the cranberry to my mom. I knew she had tried to make it, or she had made a case of it at one point that was really good, and she talks about it a lot. So I thought, why not get her another bottle? Cranberry wine, raspberry wine. Awesome. Really, really good stuff. So shout out to those guys, Jim and Julie. Just out in the middle of Harrison, just making kick-ass fruit wine. If you get a chance to go, try the rhubarb, try the cranberry, try the huckleberry, but you are going to want to leave with the raspberry. I guarantee it. So that was my trip up north. That's what I did last week. A lot of fun. Thanks so much to my parents, Jim and Shannon, for helping me out, watching the doggies. And thank you to everyone I ran into on my voyage. It was so fun, so great seeing everybody, and so great to meet so many new friends. So that's going to do it for sort of what I did last week. We're going to come right back with another fantastic person in the wine industry. We are celebrating Idaho Wine Month. I don't think I said that at the beginning of the show. I don't know why. It's Idaho Wine Month. We're celebrating, and we have Caitlin Holzinski from Holzinski Winery up right after this. This show brought to you by Snake River Wine Tours. I am writing a book about Idaho wine, and I needed to get out to wine country. I had to introduce myself. I had to see how the wine was made. And Snake River Wine Tours was there for me. They provided an expert tour guide, John, who was very nice and knew everything about every winery we went to. I didn't have to worry about getting lost. I didn't have to worry about driving home. All I had to do was sit back and relax. And wouldn't you know it, I brought 4 friends with me and my wife. We all hung out. We had a blast. There were snacks, there was water, anything you could need. But the best part about Snake River Wine Tours was the behind the scenes access that we got. We had an expert from every winery come and tell us all about all the wines. We did tastings that nobody else was able to do. We did things behind the scenes that other people just didn't get access to, all because we went with Snake River Wine Tours. And this can happen for you too. And they'll accommodate any group, from an intimate 2-person wine tour, little adventure for 2, all the way up to private groups up to 64 people. They will get you out there and
in style too. The van was big, it was comfortable, it had tons of room, and we had a great time. You make friends when you go on like a mixed tour like we did. We were singing and laughing the whole way home. It was an amazing trip. We were able to do it on a Sunday, which was amazing. We went out on a Sunday and hit up a bunch of wineries, and you can do it too. And they plan 7 days a week, year round. You can make your trip starting today at snakeriverwinetours.com, voted #1 by USA Today. There you go. That's all you need to know. Snake River Wine Tours for the best adventure out on the sunny slope in the Snake River AVA. Go to snakeriverwinetours.com today. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I am your host, Steve Kuntz, and with me right now, Caitlin Holzinski. Caitlin, how are we doing today?
Good, awesome. It's beautiful. The birds are chirping, the grapes are flowering, everything's in bloom.
Oh, it's so gorgeous. So we are outside here at your estate, at the estate vineyard at Holzinski in beautiful Buell, Idaho. And we chose to do this one outside just because of that. Everything is so pretty and everything is so vibrant. So tell us about the estate. Tell us what you got going on here and just kind of give us an overview of what's happening out here at Holzinski.
Yeah, for sure. So we are working with our grapes that were planted in 01 and 06. So they are mature. We have so much equipment that we are loving, all sorts of different processing equipment, canning equipment, still farming organically. We've added a lot of elements to the property for people to come enjoy it. We've got a new tree house, new overwater deck, some horses. You can go check out the bees. It's a great time to visit the vineyard, try our new wines.
Teddy might come visit you?
Yes, Teddy is my Yorkie. He is the vineyard dog. We used to have a gaggle of golden retrievers, but he is the lone wolf now.
And it sounds like we got a little bit of progress going on in the background. That's all right. No big deal. We got Teddy here. And yeah, so you talk about what it's like what, so if I was to come down from the Boise area, what would an afternoon spent here ideally be like for me?
So you would probably get a ton of education. It's going to be a really organic, fun experience. Really here in the tasting room, we focus on bringing people along their palate or wine tasting journey, where we do about 30 different varietals, ranging from dry whites to big, bold reds. We do have fun sweet wines, which obviously brings in, the younger drinker, and then you can kind of guide them along. Usually you'll see people just throw out a blanket on the lawn. It's a really organic experience.
I get it.
This weekend we have live music. It's going to be great. And then on Sunday we're going to be in Boise pouring at Savor, Idaho, along all of the other Idaho wineries.
That's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. That'll be super fun. Let's get to this thing. So you brought up your line of sweeter wines, and this is something I didn't, you know what? I have a case of these things in my house right now. I have a case of the Ida Peach and a case of the pink one. I don't know what the
unicorn rosé.
Yeah, I got the unicorn rosé. I have cases of these things. I had no idea you made them. So I'm super excited to talk about them because I think you're doing something that no one else that everyone that I've talked to at this point. I've interviewed probably 15 wineries in Idaho for my book. And on the podcast, I think we've had about 4 or 5 on. And this is something they're constantly talking about is that younger people aren't drinking traditional wine. We want to start a program. Well, you fucking went and started the program. So tell us what went into that and everything that kind of went into the Ida Peach and the Unicorn program that you guys do.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that we have lost the younger generation of wine because we made wine too serious. We made it unapproachable. We priced it out of any college student's budget. I myself drank a lot of barefoot Pinot Grigio in college. And so when I stepped into the wine world, I started to think about what I would want to drink when I was young and what I like to drink now and how that evolved. And I just realized that, wine is fun. Like, wine is not serious. It's not supposed to be done in a boring white room with a bunch of snobby notes that no one knows anything about. I feel like
No one does.
you just end up losing people. So if, a lot of people love to try sweet wines. You get a lot of beer drinkers that love Ida Peach. Really, there's not anyone who doesn't.
I love sangria. Like, sangria is great. And I'm not a typical wine drinker. I mean, I've gotten into it more and more, but I love sangria. I love those kind of flavors. I like to put ice on it if I want, like that sort of thing. So that was sort of your inspiration, was sort of thinking back to when you were younger and like when you didn't have any money or whatever. And so like you just go and get the barefoot. And for me, it was the $2 chuck at Trader Joe's. There was also another one I really like called Leonardo da Vinci Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
That was a really classy one, I think. So this is sort of the throwback to what you're doing. How is it working for you guys? Are you finding that more and more young people are finding it?
Oh gosh, yes. Especially in Boise, like where we have fun packaging. We have the pouches. A lot of college kids like to slap the pouch. Now we have it in a can. We have a red version, a sparkling version. There's something for everyone, and these year after year are my top selling wines. So I do about 8,000 cases of Ida Peach right now.
Wow.
I expect that to probably grow to about 10,000 cases.
Wow, that's great. And is this like, is there a peach orchard that I missed on the tour of the property, or where are you able to get your peach from?
Yeah, actually, so about 10 minutes down the road is a peach orchard. I know I briefly spoke to you about where we're going to plant the Chenin Blanc and Mourvèdre, and so that orchard is right next to our newest planting. Yeah, it's called Kelly's Orchard. So big orchard fruit area. In the past, we have done Billy Brew, which is a co-fermented Chardonnay with processed peaches. So we use our old grape press because obviously the core of the peaches are going to be super, super hard on a press and a bladder. And we started doing this back in like 2019. And I mean, essentially it's a pet nat. Like it has sediment in it. We called it a beer sour because we love sour beers, and it was like a, sour wine doesn't sound very good, but it was like a sour wine-ish beer.
Yeah, it's sort of like orange wine is sort of in that route, like sort of in
Skin
that
contact.
area. So there's lots of skin contact. It kind of gives a little bit of that sourness that we would get in a sour beer for sure. So you guys started making this back in 2019. And it's just you just slap in the pouch. You're doing all this stuff. And how about like the merch side of it? I saw a bunch of great merch in there as well. Have you seen a lot of that kind of go too? Because the label's awesome. The label's awesome. Like the Ida Peach label's awesome. The unicorn labels are awesome. So I imagine that a lot of people want to get this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. The Ida Peach label is definitely super fun. I haven't really focused on merch just because that would be one more thing. But it is funny when we're out in Boise, sometimes we'll see an Ida Peach shirt. We always go up and take pictures, and they have no idea sometimes that Ida Peach is one of our wines because we do have a lot of big serious reds.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the unicorn I actually didn't come up with. So my husband trademarked that like back in the early 2000s. It is trademarked and it has been defended.
Can you trademark a mythical beast? I guess you can.
You can. We own the trademark for unicorn in the wine industry. Additionally, we own Ida wine.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Ida wine. I like that too.
And Ida water.
And Ida water. I'm having some Ida water right now, and it's great. It's really tasty, sparkling water. You know what? This is, and I love that it's in a champagne bottle. Or a wine bottle.
Well, so
makes me feel classy.
Totally. It is actually made in our Charmant tanks. So we do I think 6 different sparkling wines now. We have
No
3
kidding.
sparkling tanks, and we said, well, why not sparkle water? It was the year of sparkling things.
We didn't get to talk about the sparkling wine when I was on the little tour that we took, so let's talk about it now. Do you guys do everything? Is it like pet nat? Are you in there degorging or disgorging?
No, so we don't do traditional method champagne with any of the disgorging or riddling. We used to have riddling racks, but any winemaker that has done a lot of sparkling wines has a lot of scars all over their hands. We like to do things in the tank, so it's tank method. The French call it Charmant method. I think that sounds better.
Yeah, it
but,
does. I love that Charmant method.
Yeah, so you can still
Oui.
Yeah, you can still do all of the things. You can still dosage back into the tank, adding sugar back. A lot of people don't know how to do it, which is why I think they're still making traditional method champagne, which in my opinion is just not economical.
Is this like making a beer? Are you fermenting it in the tank and then adding CO2 to it? Is that kind of what you're doing?
No,
or?
so it's finished wine, and then you put it into the tank, and then it will sit there usually for about a week under CO2.
Yep.
And then we have a big Italian reverse pressure counter filler that is an 8-place, and it will bottle under pressure 30 to 50 psi.
And it does 8 bottles. It's an 8-head bottler. Nice.
Yep, all automatic.
And Italian.
Yes, and
Beautiful.
Italian. All of our tanks are Italian. We love the Italians. We also love the French.
I was gonna say, but all the barrels are French.
Yes, like I said, all French oak. I personally, as a winemaker, don't like American oak. Teddy's on the table.
Teddy's great. I'm gonna take a picture of Teddy. Teddy is so cute.
The American consumer loves American oak, though, so I will admit that I have one red on American oak, and I do have one oak Chardonnay.
Well, yeah, we saw that earlier. I should say, yeah, we were in the barrel room. This place is very expansive. You have, 40 acres or something like that here?
So the winery estate is 40 acres, yep.
And it's super expansive. We had to take a golf cart all around to see everything. And the barrel room was just amazing. Like, you have barrels stacked high to the ceiling. And I said, well, what about because I'm with you on the oak Chardonnay. I'm not a big oak Chardonnay. I don't like it very much at all. And you said the same thing. And then right as you were saying that, we came across 3 or 4 barrels of oak Chardonnay.
Yes, I know.
So you're going to have a little bit.
It was a 2024. So, I'm looking ahead to when I'm out of that 2021.
I love it.
Which I'm not moving fast because I sell things that I enjoy and that I think will do well. And
well, we talk about this on the podcast all the time. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got when I went into the brewing world was you guys as a company should brew what you like. And you should count on your guys' good taste in filtering out to everyone else, and everybody else should. Basically, what the saying is we drink what we want, and you get the leftover, you get the rest, and that's kind of what you guys are doing here too, right?
Yes, totally.
You gonna take a picture of the dog?
Yes. Teddy, oh my gosh. Sorry.
Teddy is really ratcheting up the cute factor right now.
Smile.
I can. Teddy is he's getting his picture taken. We're doing a little photo shoot. It looks like he might have just had his hair cut. He's looking pretty good. My dogs aren't looking this good, that's for sure.
Good boy,
And he's got his little tail wagging. He's very happy right now on the podcast.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. And so getting back to sort of the Ida Peach and unicorn stuff. So when you first, down goes the microphone. So when you first started selling those wines, what was the general feedback from like the wine community versus the people you were actually trying to sell to, the younger people?
The wine community, Albertsons embraced it, and so they early on have been on board and have sold it. It's almost in every Albertsons location in the state, so that's slowly been grown through my self-distribution since 2006, and then turning that over to Hayden Beverage. There are a lot of places that won't carry it because of the label. I've been told that it's sexist, it's inappropriate, when in all reality it was created by a woman who was a breast cancer survivor. So every year in October, all of the Ida Peach line donates $1 per bottle sold to St. Luke's, which is what we've done in the past for their new breast cancer testing.
That's nice.
Devices.
So that's great. So I think it's a fun label. I think it's playing up on the peaches. I think it's a lot of fun. That's me personally. And I agree with you. Like, why not have a little fun with it? It's for younger people. It's not for all these older people that would, scoff at it or whatever. And I can't believe that you would be a store and not put it in there. It's like, I just don't understand why you would do that. So you know what? You don't need them. Is what I'm saying.
It's only been a Boise thing, I'll say that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No problem in the Magic Valley.
No. Or anywhere else.
That actually kind of seems about right.
I guess it's not really.
Are you sure it's not a Meridian problem? It feels like a Meridian problem.
It's definitely a downtown Boise problem.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's also not a wine that does really, really well in Sun Valley, which is a huge market for us. But
that's not a younger crowd, though. That's an older crowd.
Yeah, that's going to be more of a older European white Bordeaux crowd.
No doubt. And as one of the members of that crowd, I can say that is correct. Yes. White Bordeaux, tasty. So you guys have this awesome line out, the Ida Peach and the Unicorn for the younger people. Now, what are we doing for people like more my age that want like the more traditional style?
So I would say, are we doing like a daily, nightly drinker?
Oh, of
or
course,
just
daily and nightly if I can.
Daily, nightly. So I think that the JH organically grown Chardonnay is absolutely exceptional. I am a huge proponent of alcohol balancing wine. In my opinion, it is perfectly balanced. It has body, no oak, obviously, all stainless steel fermentation. It's going to be a free run press, so it is special. We only did about 200 cases. It's almost gone. I'm going to be pouring it this weekend. In Boise, both the co-op locations carry it. Apricot, just amazing, super French. I could probably trick someone into thinking it was a white Bordeaux.
Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'll have to take a look at it and see. I love one of my favorite white wines is Semillon from La Colle, which is a white Bordeaux, and it's so maybe I'll have to try the Chardonnay out and see what I think.
Yeah.
And so, what about something for like steak night, like something with a steak?
So steak night, really, any of our reds would be good. It would just depend on how dry you wanted to go. I think that our 2021 Cabernet Sauvignon, 100% grown at Cold Springs, is beautiful and delicate. So it's going to be more of a mountain Napa style, Cabernet. If you wanted to, have a little spice, my Merlot, which is a organically grown Merlot here from the estate, has been throwing a crazy eucalyptus note, which I have honestly never tasted in any of my wines. But I also haven't done just a one vineyard Merlot in many years.
Now, you guys have a pretty big estate here. What all wines do you have right now that are estate, like your Merlot?
That are 100% estate. So we have the JH Organic Merlot, and then we have the, the 2024 JH Organic Chardonnay, and then the 2022 Ghost Stallion Merlot Organic, and then I just sold out of our Octopus Syrah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
The Octopus Syrah's gone?
Yes, it is. You can still find some at Boise Co-op. I do have 10 cases left, but I saved them for my distributor.
Nice.
And so, this new 2020 vintage will be organically grown. So it will have that claim on the back. And you saw all those pallets I'm getting ready to bottle.
Yeah, I did see those. I saw the look of horror in your eye as we walked in there. You were like, oh my God, this is so much bottling that I have to do.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how my back was going to hurt for like a month.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But you guys are lucky. You only have to bottle like once or twice a year. In the beer world, we're bottling every day.
So we don't.
Constant.
That's actually where I would say that we're a little bit different is because we are constantly doing new wines, coming up with new blends. We bottle probably 30 times a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're bottling a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. And is all the bottling done just right over here?
Yep, right there in that production room.
Nice.
Yeah, so we do all of our wines under Stelvin screw cap. So it does take a little bit more labor to do it this way. I used to 100% bottle every one of my wines. I have since stopped doing that when I was pregnant with my second child. But yes, everything's done here. Takes 5 people. We can usually do about 600 cases a day if we're really going to push it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's a lot of cases a day. That is a lot of work.
Totally.
So before you were talking about how some of your or all of your estate grown wines are organic. Now, talk to me about the difference between what you guys do here and maybe what like we find maybe at the co-op, the organic stuff that's certified organic or whatever. What's the difference?
So, certified organic wine or grown with organic?
Well, you were saying there was a
grapes?
difference between what you guys do with live organic versus the USDA
Yes.
organic, what the man tells us is organic.
Yes, for sure. So USDA is going to be a federally regulated program. So they are the say-all in organic farming in the U.S. In the last couple years, there's been some new programs that have come to light, like live organic, and I think that is really confusing for the consumer, because if you are live organic, you are not federally regulated, and you can make additions to your vineyard if it means that you are going to lose your crop. So, I mean, I think a lot of people are probably just making those. I don't know what the reporting's like. It doesn't sound like they ever come step foot on your vineyard. Whereas where we're regulated by USDA, I have to have records of my barrels. I have to have records of any, yeast that I use.
Yeah.
It's just really, really extensive.
They don't make it easy.
Yeah, any cleaning chemicals that I use for my equipment. So yeah, it's a lot of paperwork, but it's just someone is holding you accountable. Whereas I feel like some of those other programs are just bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and that's true. A lot of them are bullshit, and there's a lot of like. So one thing that I always do, anytime I go to an organic farm, the first thing I look out for is just what it feels like and what it sounds like. And as you can hear here, there are birds chirping, there are bees buzzing, and there's the willow is brushing up against itself, creating a very wonderful dynamic out here. It's just very beautiful and very alive, is what I would say, right?
yeah.
And talk about like kind of what you guys do to make sure that kind of feeling goes over the whole vineyard. Like what kind of steps you guys take for that?
Yeah, for sure. So, whole vineyard, we do all sorts of stuff. So, whereas other vineyards can use Roundup, weed killer, weed control, we are out there hand picking. We are out there pruning. Hand picking goes all throughout the year, and this is done at the vineyards that we manage as well.
All the grapes are handpicked, right?
Yes, all the grapes are hand-picked, hand-trellised.
Wow.
We just retrained the vineyard this year. So yeah, it's definitely a labor of love.
And what about the watering technique that you use on the vineyards? I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Is that not how everyone else waters?
I don't know.
No. Oh, okay. So yeah, we do drip irrigation. So some people think that they need to overwater their grapes, or they'll water them before harvest so that they weigh more. We like to starve our grapes here. Grapes flourish in extreme conditions. I think it brings more character to the grapes, and so does my husband. So we just watered about 5 days ago, and I don't know how hot it's gonna get, but we'll probably starve them for another while.
Look, grapes. This lady's over here. She's bottling wine when she's pregnant. She's pregnant with a kid. She's bottling wine. You got to do some work, grapes. You got to grow. And you know what? We'll give you water when we think you need water, not anytime before or after, right?
Totally. Yeah, make them work for it.
I thought that was really interesting. I thought that the way that there was kind of like I guess like a ditch in the middle of each of the vines, so that provides the water, and an irrigation canal, I guess, is the better way of putting it.
Yep, drip irrigation. So those are furrows within the rows, and then the water just flows downward, natural gravity.
And we have the best. I used to live in the Magic Valley, so I'll say we. That time, I'm not gonna do it again. Hopefully, best irrigation like anywhere in the world, right? Magic Valley.
Yeah. But I also put my ditch riders' cows in the field, so I get water pretty fast.
Nice.
That always helps. Take care of your ditch rider. Another thing that is different about the vineyard, obviously you can see it in the videos, is it does not look like Walla Walla. It's wild. We do fan trellising, and so where we are higher elevation, hotter here, we want to push as many buds to the top as we can, and then we'll go through and trim fruit, but we do get a lot of wind here. So we're not over pruning, and that's a lot of the reason why we never get frosted back here.
Nice.
And where we're alone, we don't get nervous about frost and picking and birds. It's when people get nervous in, I feel like, Sunny Slope or Walla Walla or any kind of winery AVAs, because they'll see their neighbor picking, and their neighbor will say like, oh, the rain's gonna come or the birds are gonna come, like, I gotta pick. It's like, no, just leave it. It will be fine.
It'll be fine. The grapes have always grown. They're gonna continue to grow, even if a bird does take one or two grapes.
Yeah.
I did notice, one of the first things I noticed, and I said to myself, not to anyone else, so there's no way to check this, is that I felt like that your vines looked like physically bigger than the ones that I had seen in Eagle or on the Sunny Slope in the last, in just this week, actually. I was in two parts. I was in Eagle AVA, and I was in the Sunny Slope, the outskirts of Sunny Slope at Indian Creek, and I noticed that your bushes, your vines are actually bigger.
Huh.
They look physically bigger, and you were telling me there's some flowering already happening.
Oh, yes, flowering, yep. And then we do get bud break a month before Sunny Slope here. We usually pick late August. Sometimes we'll pick till late September. Usually the last to be picked here is Merlot and Syrah. I don't know. I've never been to Indian Creek. I love them over there, and I follow them. I love their wine. I've heard their vibes are a lot the same as ours.
Oh, totally. No, everything's fine there. I'm just saying, like, you guys, I think your growing season maybe starts earlier, or something's going on.
Yeah.
Because not just Indian Creek either, Vizcaya and some other ones that I went to, their vines just aren't quite as tall and bushy, and they definitely haven't got to flower yet.
That's probably pruning too.
Well, maybe, but I just think that down here, maybe your growing season starts a little bit earlier or whatever it is. I don't know.
Definitely more special.
Definitely more special. And we're here, speaking of, I don't think we ever really said where we were. So we're in Buell, technically, right?
Yep.
And so basically, you get off I-84 at Wendell, exit 157. Not that I didn't just do it. And you come down into Magic Valley. And so it's really gorgeous. You're coming down, and then all of a sudden the Hagerman Valley comes out kind of before you, and it's just like, boom, right?
Yeah, Hagerman is a beautiful area near and dear to my heart with lots of little vineyards. We source a lot of our smaller selection, sometimes our blends. I know you said you loved Semillon. There's a small little plot of Semillon down there that I've blended in some of my whites before. Our Beaujolais Rosé, which has historically been a really popular on-premise wine, is grown at a 26-year-old Syrah vineyard down there. And so we've worked with that vineyard for, I don't know, like 18 years now.
Wow.
And then about 10 years ago, it just just started throwing some crazy strawberry, and it just needed to be its own wine. So single vineyard on that one.
Beautiful. And you're throwing around some terms now. You just threw around the on-premise term. Very good. Like to hear that. And I want to talk all about how you're out here hustling and selling this stuff. And we're going to do it right after this break. Are you ready to take a little break?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back with Caitlin Holzinski. We're going to talk all about how she's out there busting her hump on the sales trail, and all about Holzinski? I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at saying things. All about Holzinski wines on the Idaho Booze Podcast right after this. Heading out to the lake is great, and Treasure Valley Chevron is here to make that lake trip even better with a crazy selection of snacks, drinks, and stuff for your long weekend away. Need a lift for the road? With the Treasure Valley's largest assortment of energy drinks, energy shots, coffee, candy, sodas, and more, you can fill yourself up for the long trip along with your car. Looking for something more substantial? TVC has a huge assortment of snacks, chips, and more to munch on during your trek. Hit up Treasure Valley Chevron at I-84 and Gowan Road, or Highway 55 at Beacon Light, and see why TVC is your best stop for any trip. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz, sitting here in the beautiful gardens of Holzinski Winery here in Buell, Idaho. We are in the Magic Valley. Everything is pretty magical. It's a gorgeous day. The birds are chirping. The bees are alive. And I've got Caitlin Holzinski here with me. Caitlin, how are we doing? Still good?
Good. Yeah, I know. I was like, maybe we should have moved it to the treehouse.
We should. How's the Wi-Fi up in the treehouse? Is it okay?
No Wi-Fi up
I don't
there.
think we need Wi-Fi though. I mean, these microphones pretty much work anywhere. So yeah, maybe next time we'll go up at a treehouse. I think that'll be more fun.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So earlier you had mentioned that you had strong on-premise sales, or so you said something about drinking something on-premise or something like that, which leads me to believe that you are in the sales game here. Is that correct?
Yes, I have been in the sales game since I started doing wine. So Holzinski Winery had I would say 3 to 4 wines in about 2006, and now we have over 30. I self-distributed all of our wine throughout Idaho, mostly personally or with a couple employees.
Now let's talk about what that means. I don't think people understand what that means. That means you are not only are you going out and finding new accounts and everything like that, right? But you're also schlepping it out to the so you get an account in Idaho Falls, and they're like, yeah, we'll take a case. You have to schlep that wine out to Idaho Falls, don't you?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, and you'd be lucky if you're selling a case. Sometimes it's a mixed case. Sometimes it's a couple bottles. You are going to every single Albertsons in Boise between the hours of 6 and 11 or 1. I'm not really sure what receiving hours are now. Every receiver by name, and I think it's a great way to start your business, because when you get bigger, you definitely need to understand every aspect of your business, and you need to be able to do every single job.
For sure. And that's what you were doing. Talk about what it was like those first few years when you were working in the packaging and doing the selling and all that stuff. What was that like?
Gosh, back then it felt like a lot, but now I have so much more. So, I guess I just am really grateful to be where I'm at, producing what I am, have great support. This last year, actually, I would say in the last 3 months, we took on a strategic partnership with Proud Impact Collective out of Boise. And so they've really been able to help me with some of our larger corporate accounts like Walmart, Whole Foods, Albertsons was a big one that I've kind of pivoted all my brands out of, and a great local supporter.
Yeah, they're great.
But yeah, so their help, and then, just really a lot of it is giving my distributor support. A lot of people think that once you get a distributor, it is
Easy Street. All done.
rainbows, pot of gold.
Done.
Yeah.
And just all you have to worry about now is the wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No. Even with a great distributor like Hayden, you still have to get out there and bust your hump. How often are you up, like maybe to Boise or out to Idaho Falls? How often are you traveling out and about?
So I am in the Boise market usually twice a week. I like to go by both of the co-ops, Marcy in Boise, and then out in Meridian, they've got Chris there. Always
Love Chris.
I love to pick up all the fun
Nice
recommendations
guy. Yeah.
that they have. I think they
I like Marcy too. Marcy's great too.
I know.
But I live out there, and I live out by, kind of by 20 minutes away from the co-op in Meridian, and I talk to Chris a lot more now than I do Marcy, and they're both great. They both know their wines for sure.
They totally do. They're fun to talk about wine with for sure. And then I usually, obviously, will stop by, my big Albertson stores and talk to the wine stewards there.
Fairview and Eagle, Broadway, and Ben, whatever that is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So there's Stephen with a PH at Broadway, and then we've got Dan back at Market Street. So, I mean, really half of supporting your brand is going out and talking to people. That's your responsibility, not your distributor's responsibility. Your distributor is,
Careful.
what we would call free advertising, and they carry cases for you. So, we talk a lot.
They have trucks.
They do. They have trucks. They have lift gates. They have hand carts.
Big strong guys to carry all those, and I'm sure they have some ladies in there as well. But big strong guys and ladies to carry all those cases.
Yeah, for sure. And in all reality, if you're going to wholesale wine these days, you have to have a distributor, because if you're looking to land, big accounts that are going to give your brands a ton of velocity, like Kroger, Albertsons,
Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart.
Are you guys in Walmart?
I'm working on Walmart.
Have you been to Bentonville yet?
So my strategic partner, Cole, goes to Bentonville.
Oh, all right. You know what? I recommend going to Bentonville. You should do it.
It's so crazy. I was like, I had to look it up the other day, because he's like, yeah, I'm going to Bentonville.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing in Arkansas?
Yeah. That's what you say when you land there.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you say. You need to go to Bentonville. It's like a rite of passage for anyone that wants to seriously sell a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Cole, I'm sure is doing a great job, but you seem to me like a woman you seem to me like a take charge type of woman. Someone that wants to get shit done.
Yeah.
You need to go to Bentonville.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Got it. Maybe I'll hit it like after the Derby next year or something. I don't know. Never been to Arkansas. I guess I could go.
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
I guess I'm mainly focused on Idaho, because I just make Idaho wine. I don't use fruit from other states. And so Walmart, going to Bentonville would be a little bit more of a regional play.
You got to do it. You got it. I think I don't even know that you even need to go there to say anything. I think you just should go. Yeah. Just go with Cole. Cole, take her with you. You'll you know what? Text me after you go and let me know how you liked it.
Okay.
Because it is something that you have to do. Absolutely. I think it's a huge thing. So you're out there on the sales trail, you're getting shit done. Another thing the distributor provides is warehouse, right? So they can keep all the wine. You guys make all the wine, and then you can sell it to them, and then they can keep it there at a nice temperature. And then you have more room for more barrels.
Yes, I do. I myself have lots of warehouses. I think in Boise that's a little bit more of a problem, where land's a little bit scarce. But I'm storing a lot of barrels, purchasing glass and truckloads. So lots of storage. Storage is good.
So what else have you done here at the winery? What other jobs have you done?
So there's not a job that I haven't done at the winery. I have pruned. I've picked ice wine in the middle of the night. I have bottled.
The ice wine needs to be picked in the middle of the night?
Yeah, so true ice wine. I'm not going to call out some of the fake ones, but I think commercially people are obviously doing frozen berries, whereas we've only done a true ice wine 2 years in the 26 years that we've been in operation. So yeah, traditional. Had to be the right climate. Everything had to go perfectly, no birds, and getting pickers to show up at 3:00 in the morning to pick
Holy
grapes is
cow.
really hard.
Now, this is the wine for people that may not know, because we get a lot of people listen that are kind of beer drinkers or that love spirits or whatever else. This is the wine that comes in little tiny bottles that cost a lot, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between ice wine and like a non-iced wine?
Yeah. So ice wine is going to be a dessert wine. It's going to be higher alcohol, really high viscosity.
Thick.
It's going to, thick, sweet.
2 C's.
Yes, totally. If I'm thinking about it correctly, I think I only have like 1 bottle left. And it's just so much apricot and richness and body and a little bit of some tertiary notes that I need to open that bottle now. It's in the refrigerator.
Let's go back. Let's get in the Wayback Machine and let's go back to young precocious Caitlin, just getting into wine. She's got her barefoot. So what got you into being a fan of wine to wanting to make wine?
Being a fan of wine. Yeah. I remember, I think the year that I was taking over the winery, we had this amazing Vortex Chardonnay and I drank it all. I didn't have any to sell, but I was ready to start selling, producing, making wine, talking about wine. I 100% did not know what I was doing. I've definitely landed in more of sales relations than I would like to be. I'd like to be more making wine, where I am a classically trained chemist. That's what my degree is in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where from?
It's from SOU, and then I did all my undergrad chemistry at Oregon State.
Oh.
I thought I was going to be a pharmacist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still could be.
Oh, no.
You have all those contacts at Albertsons. You could get that job easy.
Yeah.
Get you that job tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what were some inspirations that led you to be to sort of take over this new role and this new life, and to get away from being a chemist and then be a winemaker or someone that owns a winery?
Yeah. I mean, the winery had always been here, and I think that it kind of a switch clicked after I started having children, that wine is all about legacy, and it can change, and different generations of your family can have different styles and reflect that legacy differently, but it's something that people can never take away from you.
Yeah. And so I was just talking to someone who's kind of in a similar situation, whose family had this winery, and he sort of took over as the winemaker. And that's what he was kind of saying too. Like it was very much like he wants to carry on in the tradition, but he also wants to do things his way a little bit. So how have you sort of gone to doing things sort of your way or your husband's way? Because your husband is the winemaker, right?
Yes. My husband is the winemaker and knows far more about wine than I do. Sometimes we will get in arguments. So in previous years, we've had 2 different Syrahs. One is his
It's a good way to solve the problem.
Yeah, one is his winemaking style. Mine is my winemaking style. My husband, sorry.
Sounds like someone's looking for somebody.
No, it's a truck. My husband loves a big, huge, earthy horsepower Syrah, and I love a really bright white pepper and spice, all cherry, nice acid Syrah. So, sometimes we will have a couple more bottles that year than we should, and that's the beauty of, just 2 people working together. I think that it's a style that's consistent along all of our wines, because we all make the decision together what we're going to do. This year we did a Gruner Veltliner from Houston, And that was totally inspired by my, sorry.
No, this is definitely a what we used to call, when I grew up in Tacoma, a ghetto bird situation. We have.
Well, at least the crop duster isn't out today.
That's true. Thank you for not having the crop duster out today. This.
So yeah, we did a
circling.
A helicopter. Oh no, that I don't think so. Shouldn't be. Gruner, we totally made Gruner because my tasting room manager Natalie just would not shut up about Gruner. And it was funny when I went to the when I went to the Sunny Slope, I noticed everyone had a Gruner. I made my own, and now I appreciate it and can't wait to have more.
Yeah, Gruner's great. We have a couple of different wines in the Sunny Slope region that are kind of the Idaho wines right now. Like, I think Viognier is there too. Have you guys ever done a Viognier or ever thought about doing that? Yeah,
I love Viognier. I just saw that Houston they did a sparkling Viognier, which is funny because Pine Ridge out of Napa, one of my favorite bottles is their sparkling Viognier. Yeah, I love Viognier. Cinder has an amazing dry Viognier. I have a 2022, about 30 cases left, and then I have a 23 that's completely gone. Wow. I am not going to do a 2024 vintage.
Take that.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
No, not because I don't love the varietal. I just don't think it was not a great growing year.
Okay.
And so, I can do something else with that, but I'm not going to put something in the bottle just to put it in the bottle if I'm not proud of it.
Oh, that makes sense to me. So you've had a lot of experience. You've done the selling thing, self-distro. You've been doing this for a little while now. What would you say has been like the greatest benefit of operating the winery over the last however many years you've been doing it?
I guess learning to have resilience and just a lot of gratitude. Yeah, for being able to have the opportunity to grow grapes, have people enjoy my property and my wine, and to get to meet the amazing people that I do and have the experiences that I do is so, so special.
That's awesome. And what are some of the challenges that you've had to come up against having a winery here in Buell?
Gosh, I guess that I'm in Buell.
No, this is gorgeous out here. What are you talking about?
So the closest vineyard to me is going to be Cold Springs, and then Why Not? So that's kind of a far jaunt. People flock to the Sunny Slope, and you have tours. You can go to multiple places, whereas we're super remote here, and so this is like an all-day affair. People aren't just coming and going. They're spending a lot of time here, but we don't have a huge population, so we really got to sell it.
Well, maybe we should come up with something. Like right now, I think we could come up with like a little tour. Our friends, I have my friends at Snake River Wine Tours. They're amazing. Maybe we talk to them. You could do like the Creamery and then come here and then do Cold Springs. That sounds like a good, it'll be about 5 hours round trip from Boise, but you get some ice cream, you get some wine.
Have you heard of the cidery in Buell?
Is there a cidery? Oh, there's a cidery now too. But there's also a distillery in Twin Falls. Is that right?
Yes. So
talk to us about your distillery.
Yeah. So it's kind of new. We have been distilling since January. Our product hit the shelves in March. So I obviously don't have the manpower to run another bar tasting room establishment. So it is just a wholesale product, but it is sold all throughout Boise, Twin Falls, pretty much all throughout the state. I can't name off a placement right now, but I heard that it is at the Outlaw Fields at the Botanical Gardens being poured.
And what's the name of the vodka again?
Twin Falls Distillery Craft Vodka. I'll send you with a sticker when you leave.
Yeah, okay. I'll take a sticker, a bottle, whatever you got. That sounds awesome. So you guys are branching out into other beverage spheres.
Yes. So,
you have the water.
Yep.
You got the wine. And now you've got the booze.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Seasoned.
Yes.
Except beer.
Yeah, what about beer?
I'm not. I mean, I don't know. No.
Should Shane at Kodo be looking over his shoulder? Could we have maybe we'll put in another brewery in Twin Falls?
Oh,
I think that would be
gosh.
good. There's only 2, right? Twin Falls could have another brewery.
Well, there was Magic Valley Brewing, and
Yep.
then
In Buell.
Kodo. Yeah, there's Kodo, and then Milner's. Were you going to say Van Scheit's?
Yeah, Van Scheidt.
So that is funny. That is my Twin Falls distilling building. Is the
Oh, it
old
is. Van Scheit's.
Yeah.
That's a great building.
Right?
Congratulations.
It's not. It's,
You guys-
I don't own it. I don't own it. I'm
that's
getting
okay.
out of
You're
it.
leasing
But
it.
yeah,
That's a good
my
building.
distilling equipment sits in there.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, it's all basically the same as brewing equipment. Just you got to ratchet up the pressure a little
God,
bit.
are you trying to talk me into brewing?
Yeah,
I guess
let's
I
do
do.
a brewery.
Yeah, I guess I do have everything to brew.
I mean, you got everything you need. You have all the tanks. You have all the know-how. You have a chemist degree.
yeah.
Let's get brewing. I say I've been bugging Shane because he won't bring Kodo up to Boise, and it's it's something that I think we disagree on, and it's something that I think that I can fix by introducing more competition to him through this avenue. And I think that you opening up a brewery there would be amazing.
What's the other brewing dude's name there?
Pierre.
Yeah, Pierre does not want to go outside of Magic Valley either.
Doesn't.
I've had that conversation with him before, because obviously where I go to grocery shopping is the Magic Valley, and so their product's usually right next to mine and any local sets. And I was like, hey, like, how's it going, with your distributor? And they're like, fine, we just do Magic Valley.
That's crazy.
That's a huge missed opportunity for me, but, some people maybe want to stay where they're at.
Well, it's and nothing but love for both those guys. They do
Yeah.
a great job. I'm really happy for the Magic Valley that they get to have those beers. And I'm really sad that I have to, actually, after I leave here, go find them somewhere because I can't get them where I live 2 hours away. That's okay. That's neither here nor there. Now, we are here to talk wine. We're here to talk the business of wine, and we've done a really good job. We're almost done. I swear to God, we're almost done. Tell us about what's happening here over the summer, what we can look forward to, and what, if any, special releases you have coming out that you'd like to talk about with the winery.
Oh, gosh, lots of stuff. Special releases. It's the year of Tempranillo for Idaho. One of those highly stacked pallets of glass was Tempranillo.
Saw that.
Didn't get it in the bottle in time. I also have 2 new reds coming out. I think in Idaho, a lot of our reds are priced really, really high. And so I wanted to come in with mid-level priced Merlot and Syrah, kind of for that younger consumer that's maybe like wanting to try,
Circling back.
Yeah,
I see what you're doing
circling
there. I see what you're doing there. It's a
Yeah.
callback.
Yeah, totally.
Love that. Great job by you, Caitlin.
Yeah. So, I mean, just really feeling out the market and deciding what the market needs and can hold. So, those new release wines, you're going to see some new canned packaging come out. Other than that, we're pretty much just going to hone down on all the stuff that we're already doing. As far as events, so we have our Dueling Pianos event, which I always try to do outside here on the lawn.
You guys do dueling pianos out here?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Do you know
That's amazing.
Todd? God, what's his last
I know
name?
Todd, of
He
course.
used to do dueling pianos at Brick House
Oh, yeah.
downtown.
Definitely. I've
Yeah.
seen him play. I don't know him personally, but I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have them come out twice a year and
Whoa.
see the sunset. The pianos are just right out here.
Just playing Snoop Dogg and Tim McGraw on piano back to back.
They can't help what people request.
So you're going to have dueling pianos out here. Oh, if nothing else, for all of our Utah friends, that's a great draw to get up here.
Yeah.
They love that stuff. I think there's 3 dueling piano bars in downtown Salt Lake last time I
There
checked.
are.
So you're going to have a bunch of events. When do you have music? Is it every like Friday or Saturday? Or?
So usually I have music every Saturday. I know I do at least for June, just to call out Idaho Wine Month. It's nice out. People want to get out and enjoy the vineyard.
Happy Idaho Wine Month, by the way. I totally forgot.
Totally. It's my favorite thing to honestly see people just come out to my property and enjoy it like it's a park, because it kind of does look like a really nice city park.
It is a park. It's a very nice park. And Caitlin, I'll tell you this right now. I'm enjoying your property, and I'm just sitting here on the deck kind of looking and hearing and feeling everything. And I'm really excited that you came on the show today. I really thank you for your time, and thank you so much. I mean, what a great time we've had. And I don't know, have you had a good time?
Yes,
I can't tell.
Of course.
She's just looking down at the floor, looking at her watch over and over again. I get it. We're leaving. Thank you so much for having me out, and can't wait to see what comes next from Holzinski Wine.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. You never know what's going to happen. Never know what we're going to come out with next.
Totally excited for all of it. And we're going to be right back. We're going to we'll do something right after this. Patio season is here, and nothing brings down the vibe more than getting that bill at the end of happy hour when you're paying full price for pours. Don't be a sucker. Get a Boise Beer Buddies card. It means never having to pay full price with the summer patio season coming up. You need to save as much money as you can. Go to BoiseBeerBuddies.com, sign up for your Beer Buddies card, and save money at dozens of bars, restaurants, breweries, wineries, cideries, and more for just $20. What's that? You want to buddy up with a friend? Use my promo code BOOZEPOD at checkout and get one for your best buddy for free. That's a BOGO Beer Buddy. Be a buddy and get your Boise Beer Buddies card today. Spring is here and summer's right around the corner. Time to step up your cocktail game with Warren Reserve. Their huckleberry syrup is made with real lemon, limes, and wild huckleberries, and it's the perfect upgrade for your margarita, mojito, or even a whiskey sour. And right now, when you buy a 3-bottle pack of huckleberry syrup at warrenreserve.com, you'll get a free bottle of lavender or chili lime bitters. Just use the promo code SUMMER25 at checkout. That's warrenreserve.com. Promo code SUMMER25. Cheers. Well, that's going to do it for the show. I want to thank Caitlin Holzinski for coming on and talking all about her wonderful winery down there in beautiful Buell, Idaho. Shout out to Natalie, too, working over there. I love her. She's the best. Anyway, Caitlin, thank you so much. And we're going to have videos that we posted. We actually took a golf cart trip around a tour around her winery, and it's really, really nice. I mean, it's organic. So there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of there's bees. She has a whole bee. She has, I think, 5 or 6 beehives there that she's maintaining. And it's just like a really beautiful spot of land. So if you're ever down in the Magic Valley and you want to get some nice wines and you want to sit in a nice area and just enjoy life for a minute, you could do worse than Holzinski. I'll tell you what, it was gorgeous. It was really, really pretty. It's right off of the road. You basically get off the freeway, get onto, I think it's Highway 11 or something like that, and you take that and it gets you right to Holzinski. So it couldn't be easier to get there. So thank you so much, Caitlin, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I want to thank warrenreserve.com. warrenreserve.com. We have an amazing promo code, SUMMER25. You get 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 huckleberry sour mixes. Plus, I'm throwing in, I'm just nice. I don't know why I do it. I probably shouldn't. But I'm throwing in a free bottle of bitters. So you get either lavender or chili lime bitters to go with that huckleberry sour. And if you've been watching the show or if you've been seeing me on TikTok, at Idaho Booze Pod on TikTok, and at this show too, on the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week, we've been doing tons of cocktails with these ingredients. So lots of great summer ideas with these ingredients. The huckleberry sour mix is amazing. The bitters are all good, and these 2 bitters are fantastic. The chili lime just adds that nice little punch of heat. The lavender really it brightens up the bouquet a little bit, but just gives you a nice little bitterness. So definitely check that out, Summer 25. And speaking of promo codes, we have the Boise Beer Buddies still rolling with that. I believe it's Booze Pod, and you get 2-for-1 Beer Buddies cards with that one. So make sure you check that one out as well. And Snake River Winery Tours. Oh my God. If you want to have the best time of your life ever, go ahead and go to SnakeRiverWineryTours.com. Tell them I sent you. Tell him you want John. He's the best. Such a great guy, such a good tour guide. And you're going to get out to wine country here in the Slope, in sunny Slope, and you're going to meet some amazing people and drink some fantastic, fantastic wines. And, you know, that's kind of something I wanted to get to a little bit earlier. Maybe I didn't get to it, but the thing with my trip up last week and with Caitlin and meeting her and meeting all these other people that are doing fucking fantastic wines for us here in Idaho, in the Gem State, just how hospitable these people are and how open these wineries are to visitors. The tasting rooms are well priced everywhere you go. And, you know, up north, even better. I mean, you get to meet all the winemakers when you go there just to get a tasting. It's like $10. And that fee is usually waived when you buy a bottle or two. Same out here. If you go down Garden City, down Chinden, if you go out to the Slope, pretty much any winery in town, the tastings are usually pretty well priced. And you get a little bit of food. You get a lot of information from the people working there. The people working there love where they work. They're very passionate, and you can feel that as you're kind of watching them and listening to them and tasting the wines and everything. And really, the wines are good. Like, I'm kind of a jerk, and I'm telling you, the wines are pretty good. So next time you head up to Lewiston to see the Vandals, or Moscow, I guess, to see the Vandals, or God help you, the Cougs, or you're just heading up there to do some jet boating, which I did. Shout out cousin Ryan and Courtney. Thank you so much. Make a side trip to see one of these wineries. They are local. They can't wait to host you at their place. And they're just like super nice, and they're everything that's right about the booze business here in Idaho. So make sure you're getting up and checking them out. But until then, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you can, go to Journey to Idaho Wine on my Substack there and subscribe. Only $5 a month. We might be doing some other things to kind of get you in the door, but we'd really love for you to try us out over there at Journey to Idaho Wine. I'm working really hard on these videos, and I think you'll like them a lot. This has been the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz. Good day and good drinking, everyone.